Well, as you heard in the last video, we've taken up caravanning after a hiatus of about 35 years. And it brought home how things have changed for caravanners in those 35 years. And if you're thinking of taking up caravanning, there's a few perils and pitfalls you need to avoid before you can start enjoying the pleasures of caravanning. We're going to look at some of those now. Welcome to Grey Matters. Back in the 1980s, when we took up caravanning, we just went out, bought a caravan and hitched it up to our car and off we went. Often quite a nerve-wracking experience when you see your caravan trying to overtake you in the outside lane of the M4, but it was a steep and very quick learning curve caravanning back in those days. But today everything is so much safer. Most caravans these days have what's called an Alco chassis, an Alco hitch, and the hitch has got two, in effect, brake pads. They're friction pads within the hitch that grip onto the car's tow ball and stop it snaking. They stabilise it. You can get caravans still that use the stabiliser bar that connects to a bracket on the tow bar, but they're usually only found on older caravans. Now, you can't any longer just hitch up any old caravan to any old car. They have to be tow matched. Now, there are online services that do this, but do be careful. There are some free ones. You put your car in, you put in the caravan you intend to tow, and it'll tell you if it's safe and legal to do so. Now, we were about to buy a caravan based on one of those matches that said it was safe and legal if you were an experienced tower. And we put the deposit on the caravan and then joined the Caravan and Camping Club, and they provide a free tow matching service through TowSafe, one of those that charge, and it's because they charge that we didn't actually use them, and we should have done, because when we put it through there it said the caravan we were going to get was not safe and not legal to tow with our car. So do be careful when you use one of those services. It's probably best to go for one that you have to pay for. It seems that the results might be a bit more accurate. Now, the problem we had is that our car, which is a Dacia Duster, has what they call a very low nose weight for the tow ball. And it's only 50 kilograms. And that made finding a caravan to fit that weight limit on the car very difficult. Now, when it comes to selecting a caravan, there are several things you need to take into account. Now, these are all on rating plates, either on your car, on your V5 for the car, or on the caravan itself. And for the caravan, the first of these is the MTPLM, the maximum technically permitted laden mass, or laden weight as we used to call it. Why they have to complicate things, I don't know. But so it's the fully laden weight of the caravan. Now that takes into account all the fixtures and fittings within and all the things you may travel with. And that gives you a maximum laden weight the caravan can be. The other one is the mass in running order, MIRO, which really is the unladen weight. It's how it came out of the factory. But it does take into account things like the furniture and the gas bottle and the cooker and the fridge and all those things. Now, when you come to assess your car and whether it's suitable for that particular caravan, you have to look at your curb weight of your car. Now that will be usually on your V5, and the caravan's MTPLM can be no more than 85% of your car's curb weight. Now, if you're an experienced tower, you can go higher. You can go to 95, maybe even 100%, but you need to be an experienced tower to do that, because there's going to potentially be a lot more instability in the caravan. And you then need to look at the rating plate on your car, often inside the driver's door, that will give you the maximum laden weight for your car and your gross train weight. And the gross train weight is important because that's the weight of your car and the weight of your caravan. And if the two exceed the figure that's given on your car, you can't tow. It's not legal. Now there are ways you can check these. You could take the whole rig down to a public weighbridge and have it weighed. You can get a caravan weighing scale, and these are easy to come by. Many caravan shops will sell them, and what you have to do is to weigh the caravan under each wheel and the car under each wheel, and this little scale will tot up all the weights and tell you how much it all comes to. It can be a little bit time consuming, and whether you want to go to that trouble is down to you, but you're supposed to. Now the 85% rule for the car's MTPLM versus your car's curb weight is not law, right? It's advisory, and it does make sense, because if you're not experienced at towing and you get any sort of instability in the caravan, it can be quite worrying. So if you can, stick to the 85% rule. The other issue you will come across is nose weight. Now that's the weight of the caravan on the tow ball, and your car's V5 will give you the nose weight that that car can take. Most cars will be 70 to 80 kilograms, 85 kilograms. That nose weight, again, it's more facts and figures, and I'm sorry, but that nose weight should be around 5 to 7% of your caravan's MTPLM. It's confusing. We've looked online, we were reading it all up, and I came out of looking online with a headache. The easiest thing to do is to get yourself a nose weight scale. It's a pole that sits under the tow ball, and you lower the caravan onto it, and it will give you the exact weight of the nose of the caravan. Now, if you find that the nose weight of the caravan you want to buy is 15 to 20 kilograms over budget, if you like, try taking the spare wheel out of the front cabinet, because they can weigh between 16 and 20 kilograms. That can make all the difference, and carry that in your car instead. Anything you load in your caravan, if you load over the axle, it won't add to the nose weight, but it will add to your laden mass that you're allowed to tow. So keep that in mind, and yes, good luck. It's a minefield, but if you've got any questions you want to ask, please do. I'll be more than happy to do what I can to answer the questions. I'm no expert. I'm finding out again after a long time away all the problems that you have. But once you've matched your car and your caravan, you should have no problem with towing. Nice smooth journey and smooth towing experience, which will be amazing. Well, your worst enemy when buying caravans is damp, and you need one of these. If you're going caravan hunting, buy one of these. They're about 12 quid, not a lot of money, and this will save you so much heartache and aggravation. It's a damp meter. When you switch it on, it lights up green. If it touches anything damp, it will change from green maybe to amber, hopefully not to red. Now I can demonstrate that. If I lick my finger and put it across the contacts, you'll see that will go to red, and it comes up with a reading which I don't think you can see there, but that was 30%. You definitely don't want 30% damp in your caravan. But where do you check for damp? Well, let me show you some of the places. Under all your seats you need to check, particularly around in the corners. Let me turn it off. Especially in the corners where there are seals, and you'll find where you have the water heater and the water tank, and there's an isolation switch down there, the yellow switch down there. Anywhere around here in the floor you can get damp. Around window seals, around fan lights, and the roof around the fan lights. Okay, and where the TV aerial comes in. Now the TV aerial here is about here. And you may well find that there is a seal broken where the aerial is, and you may well get damp in there. So check all the cupboards as well. Wherever you think there might be damp. Now you don't need to push these prongs deep into the wood and make holes in them. That's not necessary. If you just touch them to the surface, if there is damp there, it'll light up. Now that's stained green, which I knew it would because I checked the whole caravan over before I bought it. Now most caravans in the bathrooms will have lino, but a lot of people put carpet down because it's nicer and kinder on the feet. But when you have a shower unit in your caravan, there is a very good chance that that carpet's going to get wet. And with the carpet, that's where you do push the spikes right the way through, because you want to reach the flooring underneath. But let me just show you this. This is on green, and it's still on green. And in most bathrooms will be the wardrobe. There's the wardrobe, and again around the seams just check. And it's worth also pulling out the drawers if they're removable, and some wardrobes have a cupboard area there. Get on your hands and knees, get down there and get your damp meter checking. Do you need to panic if you find damp in a caravan? Potentially no. Particularly with an older caravan, you're almost certainly going to get some damp. But how much damp is acceptable? Obviously, it's best to find none. Now, the last damp report on this showed there's about 8 or 9% damp in quite a few places. I haven't been able to find any, and I've rechecked those places, and I can't find any damp at all. And Bailey, who make this caravan, say anything up to 20% is acceptable. I don't agree. We checked quite a few caravans, and as soon as it hit about 12%, I was on my guard. And certainly the damp detector was on amber. Get up to about 14, 15%, and I just said no. And it would usually turn red. There's no point in inviting trouble. Damp often comes in through the seals. When the caravan is put together, the panels are joined, they're then masticed around, and over 10, 15, 20 years, that mastic sealant will dry out, it will crack, and it will let moisture in. And it's accepted that it's going to happen. And during the life of a caravan, you may have to get that completely resealed during one of your services. But while that reading is, say, below 12%, I wouldn't be too worried. If it gets to 12%, you need to start checking maybe every couple of months to see if it's getting better or worse. After a particularly rainy or stormy week, it's a good idea to check it to see how much that's increased. So check all the cupboards, the roof linings, all the way around the windows, under all the seats and the beds, around the lights, the TV aerial and the fan lights, and in the floor. Now when you go into the bathroom, that is where you're likely to find some damp. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope it wasn't too complex and confusing. You need to examine it in detail, go over it and over it and over it, because you'll forget all those facts and figures, I'm sure. If you want to leave a comment, please do. If you want to join in the conversation, please do. Don't forget to subscribe, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.